I look
Sarah,
so
you got
cute.
the streets lit, girl. You got the streets on fire.
People are in their feelings. Lot of emotions.
So what's going on? Tell us what happened.
Okay.
Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go.
What is going on, everybody? This is Oliver Twixt here, your nerd boy cutie, reporting for duty, here to do the Lord's work once again. And I am happy to announce I am finally on Cameo. Listen, y'all aggravated those people. They sent me the invite, and I have happily accepted. So you bitches can now book the nerve for some birthday shout-outs, words of encouragement, anniversary, Christmas, Halloween, Hanukkah, Easter, Chinese New Year, all the things. I cannot wait to greet you guys. What is going on, y'all? Our video is about to begin in a couple of seconds. Before it does, jump over to the live chat that's happening right now, where you can talk to me and some of our other friends all around the world about the things we love to talk about. I want to see you in there. Hurry up right now. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Good afternoon on this Friday. How y'all doing? Hi everybody. Come on in the classroom. We gotta get into some stuff. Oh, we've got to get into some things. Yeah. Shaka Khan. How y'all doing? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How y'all doing? I hope you guys had an amazing week. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you guys are feeling lovely. I hope you guys are over there smiling. Thank you guys for getting me a badge. What's up, Randy Milan? Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Okay, listen now. Share this live immediately to anybody you know who would like to be nosy in top model business. Yes, we're talking about top model today. Oh yes, I did not post a flyer about it because I wanted to, bam, hit y'all over the head and whatnot. Now listen, we know top model trended this week. Top model trended this week by one tweet. Woke up the entire kingdom. Everybody had to come stand outside. Everybody reporting on it. Everybody talking about it. And I should just do it. Okay, hold on. Okay, so y'all know, most of you guys know that I've been doing top model interviews for a year. Over a year now. And anytime people talk about top model, anytime people talk about Tyra Banks on Twitter, of course my content gets dragged into the conversation because many of the girls have come on my live, come on my little series I've been doing it, and they discuss the things that have happened in top model. So I was like, girl, what's going on? And then I saw who started it all. And then they DM'd me and was like, Oliver, such and such and such. And I was like, well, girl, do you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it because everyone is talking, having so much discussion on what you said. Why don't you just set the record straight? So without further ado, I'm going to bring Comedy Queen into the room. Is blue a new color? Sarah!
Hi!
How are you doing, gorgeous?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. Not a single bit.
Yeah. Oh God, my cat is up in my business. Man, I look
Sarah,
so
you got
cute.
the streets lit, girl. You got the streets on fire.
People are in their feelings. Lot of emotions.
So what's going on? Tell us what happened.
Okay. I can't. Whatever. All right. Hi. Okay. So somebody tweeted something like, I just found out that top model girls only got paid $40 an episode, and like I think that is sick, or like that sucks or something. And somebody tagged me, actually this comedian who I don't like tagged me, and he was like, is this true? And I was like, actually, no, not quite. It wasn't $40 an episode. We didn't get paid at all. We just got $40 a day, no residuals, and we had to pay for food. That was the tweet. 10 words, just numbers, just information, like literal facts. And people were like, why are you complaining? And I was like, who's complaining? Where? Literally just numbers. And they were like, you're so ungrateful. Like, you were just a competitor. Like, of course you didn't complain. I mean, of course you didn't get paid. Like, are the winners complaining? Which is why when Danny posted, I was like, thank you so much. Thank you so much, because yes, the winners do have some things to say. A lot of people have a lot of things to say. And the reaction was insane. Like, it just blew up, and it got like thousands and thousands of retweets. Lots of people being very sweet and supportive. I should honestly focus on that. Like, I should focus on that side of things, because I just was surprised at the reaction, that it was so big. And I guess I think it's great. People love the show. Like, people have a lot of feelings about it. And a lot of people were messaging, like someone DM'd me and was like, you hate Tyra and you're a bitch and you are trying to tear down a beautiful woman who has accomplished things that you could never accomplish. And I was like, I'm not trying to tear her down. I'm just trying to say that I think we should have been paid. Like, that's it. I get, and whatever. So yeah, we didn't get paid at all. We got a cash stipend to pay for food. And that was it. And we didn't get any residuals, and I think we should have. Man, my hair looks insane. It does not look good. But anyway,
you're fine.
So then it got picked up by like news outlets, and some people like emailed me, and like the New York Post and the Independent, and then it was on E! News. And we have not talked about Danny Evans yet, but other than to say that she shared a post, and I was very grateful. I wish that my hair looked better today, but that's okay.
Mine is fucked up too. That's why I had to put this hat on.
You look so cute though. It's so coordinated. Last time I did my hair. I did a full beat. This time I'm like in my sweats on my bed working.
Sounds like my midnight girl.
Yeah. It's giving casual. Yeah. So the tweet just kind of blew up, and then a lot of people were sharing their other experiences. A lot of other contestants DM'd me, and they were like, thank you so much. Like, I'm still under contract and I can't say anything. So thank you for saying something. Cause it's been over 10 years. The CW doesn't exist anymore. Like, what are they going to do? Sue me?
Not a damn thing.
Yeah, they can. I mean, they might sue me.
Girl, they're not going to sue you.
They're not going to sue me.
They're not going to bother you.
Yeah, but I guess Tyra has not made a statement, but like a bunch of people have been reaching out to her. So yeah, and I don't know. People were like, you're so ungrateful, you're complaining. And I was like, I'm not ungrateful for what I had. I am grateful for the show. A lot of people are not. A lot of people are really angry. And like, I know a lot of people have been sharing their experiences. Lisa reached out and was like, thank you, like, I get it. Your experience was different from mine. So yeah, it's a lot of black and white thinking out there, and it's definitely, it gets a gray area.
Yeah. How are you feeling now? How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. I had a moment yesterday where I just was like, I was getting so many DMs that I got a little overwhelmed. And then I remembered that it's just the internet, and I can like I can leave. Like, I just like put down my phone and went and did something else and immediately felt better. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm good. I was like, oh, my life is lovely. Like, I have a great life, not on the internet. I could just go live it.
Right.
Yeah. So got a bunch of work done. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about Lisa from my season. Lisa D'Amato has also reached out. I know that there's a lot going on with her. I'm sorry. I didn't mean people.
Oh, no, you can say Lisa's name. I
I
say Lisa's name. Girl,
I
you
was
say
talking
Lisa's
about
name.
Lisa for my cycle, but that Lisa also has commented on a couple things and also reached out. I think, yeah, it's a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions. People are very invested, and I think because it was 10 years ago for me. Like it was still a big part of my life, and it's not like I'm over it or done with it or anything. But people are still in it, and I'm kind of I'm not. I'm doing other things, and like I'm so happy to talk about it. I love talking about it. I have a ton of material in my stand-up about it, but it's just not as, I guess, I don't know. It's not as big a, I don't want to say trigger. I can't think of a better word. Like it's not as big a subject for me as I think it is for other people. It's very emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was also a bunch of people being like, I've never even heard of you. And I was like, well, you're replying to my tweet, so you heard of me now.
Bitch.
Hello. Also, just the hypocrisy of like, people always want to know the weird shit that happened behind the scenes and on set. They always want to hear the weird shit that was going on, that was kind of exploitative and was kind of shitty. And they want to hear, like, they eat that up. But then the second you're like, I think that was exploitative and kind of shitty, and I would like I think we should have been paid for our labor. People are like, you ungrateful bitch. Also, not for nothing, this is such a minor thing, but a lot of people were like, oh, but you got all this exposure and you got all these social media followers from it. I'm old. I'm very old. I'm an old fat comedian now.
No, you're not old. You just were a part of a older cycle.
An older cycle.
There we go.
Social media did not exist. We had to delete all of our profiles. We had to delete our Facebook profile. We had I think Twitter didn't. I don't even think Twitter existed. I think
maybe it was just coming out.
Yeah, or it was brand new. But we had to like totally erase ourselves from Top Model. I will say, man, there's so many things that looking back, like at the time when Ebony quit, we were all so shocked. Like shocked. She hadn't said anything to any of us, or well, she hadn't said anything to me. And we were pretty close, and so I was like we were all so surprised, and now I'm looking back and I'm like, that is amazing that she did that.
She stood up for herself.
Like the power dynamics on set were so intense that it felt like the producers were our parents. Like, like because they controlled everything. They controlled when we went to the bathroom. They controlled when we ate. They controlled like everything. And so I just like, maybe I'm a weak, submissive person, but I did everything they said. If they said jump, I said how high. They said we're gonna cut your hair off. I said awesome, like, which was awesome. I did really love my haircut, but like the fact that she was like, no, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore, so I'm gonna like the fortitude. I'm amazed. Yeah.
Well, I of course, anything Top Model related on the internet, the kids start tagging me in it because of course I've done over 100 chats. Yeah. And so I was seeing all of these commentary on like, Sarah's complaining. She's not grateful. She's blasting Tyra. And I'm like, well, I spoke to Sarah. I've spoken to you several times.
Yeah.
DMs, on live, outside of the internet. You've been nice to me. You sent me. Sarah's not complaining. It was. I found it unfortunate that one little tweet caused not that it caused all of this attention, because awareness is good, but in the vein that like you were complaining or you were trying to say something negative or you were trying to blast Tyra. No, you were only stating the facts of the contract, and you just shared your opinion on it, which I felt you did in a respectful way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think there are a lot of really valid complaints that people have. Like, the experiences that people have shared are terrible. And, I personally feel like, the things that the judges said about me at the time that were like, now looking back, problematic. I don't think like they woke up that morning and they were like we're gonna fat shame this bitch, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think they existed in 2008 when we had incredibly unrealistic body standards and they were just existing in that world, you know? I don't like
that paradigm.
Yeah, although Twiggy was mean. She was a little mean sometimes. But again, like, she grew up and she was the pinnacle of thinness. Like, that was her job.
She was the face of it.
Yeah, literally.
Still is, kind of.
You know. Also, so sorry, Will. Another comedian said that I could slay on comedy stages. I just want to say hi, Will.
Hi, Will.
You're so funny. But yeah, I also did not think that tweet would do that well, and I was like, should I have been tweeting about Top Model? Like, I've been on TikTok just like talking my shit about Top Model. I should have been on Twitter. Because also, I don't know, I'm terrible at Twitter. I just tweet like dumb fart jokes and like. I was like, oh, I should have been tweeting about Top Model. You know. What a ding. Like, you know, like a bunch of people followed me and they're gonna be like, all this bitch does is talk about farts and abortion. Like, gross. And I'll be like, I'm sorry, I'll tweet more about Top. I'll tweet modeling tips. I don't know.
It's so amazing to me that Top Model is still so relevant many years later. Like, it's still like a trending topic type of thing. And I think when it comes to Top Model, the general idea from my perspective is that Tyra did the girls wrong and she has to pay for it. And so when there's like little droppings of information that lend itself to that notion, I feel like everybody just takes it and runs with it and makes it a thing. And then when that happens, you also have your other people who are like, well, bitch, you was on TV and you got all these things, and they don't know or take into consideration everything that's like in context. Like you just said, well, back then we didn't have social media. This wasn't a contract.
Yeah.
You know, all those things, and people just they create their own narratives, and it just becomes a mess. Which is why I was like, I want you to share, talk about it freely, state exactly what your intentions were when you crafted all of that, and then most importantly, how it's been affecting you. Like, some of my mentors and clients are in media, and I've seen them talk about it, and I had to call them. I was like, listen, she's not that type of girl. That was not that type of energy she was sending. I know girls in the past, they have sent that energy, but she was just talking. Like, she was just answering the question. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's hard for people to see the complexity of like media and television, because it's so, I just saw Adele talking about this, where she was like, the thought of being famous and not that, to be clear, I am so not saying I'm famous, but like, she was like, the thought of being famous and attaining that gives so many people so much hope that I don't like to sort of shit on it. Like, I don't like to say, oh, it sucks for me that I can't go to the grocery store, because so many people aspire to it so much, you know, and so I want to like be grateful for that. And I think that's true. Like, I think when you have being on TV being the ultimate goal, we don't necessarily see it for what it is, which is just like any other experience, which is complicated and complex and very multifaceted. Like, I think especially if it's like something that brought people joy, they're like, I got joy. It's like when you see somebody eating when you're really full, you're like, how can you eat when I'm so full? Like, how could you have had a bad time doing a show that I love? I love that show. Good. Like, why bad for you? You know, like, it's this sort of like disconnect. And like, you know, I've honestly felt that way at times. I've processed a lot of what happened on the show and been like, oh yeah, that was the things that I thought were just happening were calculated moves by the producers.
This is the head nerd in charge here, Oliver Twixt, telling you that I will be performing live in Atlanta on December 17th at the Artisan's Bar. The show begins at 9 p.m. And it won't be me just by myself. I'm bringing some friends along the way. This is my first show in a long time, so believe it's going to be the night of your life. You hear me? Get your tickets now at www.olivertwixt.com/shows or click the link in my bio on my Instagram. I hope to see you there. Bye.
right? Like, I'm like, man, I was so tired and I was so disoriented so much of the time. Like, I didn't get enough sleep. And it's like, yeah, they made that happen. They had really early call times, and, you know, we had to do interviews late into the night. Like, they kept us pretty tired. And at the time I was like, oh, that just sucks. That's just a thing that happened. Like, and then, you know, looking back, I'm like, oh, that was the thing that they wanted to happen. They wanted us tired. They wanted us off kilter because it makes your reactions bigger. And so, you know, I've kind of come to see the show a little bit differently than at the time. But I remember at the time, like, I remember talking to Jenna, and she was like, yeah, I think that was really shitty, some of the things they did. And I was like, what? No, but I love the show. I'm so glad that we did it. Like, my life is better now. I never would have modeled if not for the show. Like, how can you say that? So I totally get the impulse of being like, no, it's good. It's good for me. Please don't let it be bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is that it's both.
Yes, both experiences can and do exist in the same universe.
Yeah.
Doing these chats have really taught me, have given me like the grassroots knowledge, and just being able to look at one picture, or being able to look at the show, but talk to 7 girls who are in that same room, and 7 people had different experiences.
Huge.
This girl said she loved it. This girl was over here fainting. This girl wasn't even remembering. Like, everybody has different experiences. And I think what would make everything so much better in a utopian society is if people just show respect and not put so much weight into having someone share their same viewpoint. Like,
yeah,
I had a good time, Sarah didn't have a good time. And we can be okay with that. Like, we can still be okay with that. Sarah doesn't owe me anything. I don't owe Sarah anything. Yeah. But I do want to ask you this, Sarah, to clarify. I've spoken to you before, but, you know, this is all new stuff. Yeah. Do you feel any anger towards Tyra? And do you feel like she owes you and or the rest of the top model girls anything? That's a hard question. Okay. For a couple reasons. Sometimes this sounds sanctimonious, and I want to be clear that it's not, and it comes from a place in me that might be stunted. Mm-hmm. I'm never angry at the right person. So one thing is, like, I know that she was the executive producer. I know she was very involved. I know she was very hands-on with that show. But I don't know who made what decisions. I don't know I don't know how involved she was in our daily schedule. I don't know if she is the one who decided not to pay us. I assume, but I don't know. And so I don't want to base anything off of assumptions, but I very much tend to see a person in charge who is making flawed decisions and not feel anger. So I'm not angry at her, but I maybe should be. And I think it's okay that other girls are. Mm-hmm. I don't think that she was, I think she was more selfish than malicious, if that makes sense. I think she was more unthinking than cruel. Okay. So I'm not angry at her, but I really do think that it's okay that other girls are. I do think that we should have been paid. I think we should have gotten residuals. Millions and millions of dollars were made off that show. My cycle was the highest rated cycle. It surely is. And when I say that we weren't paid, like, we weren't paid. We got $40 a day while we were shooting. On the days that we weren't shooting, we didn't get food. And so, like, after the show, we were put in a hotel. We weren't allowed to leave. We could only get room service, and we had to pay for that ourselves. I was there for 2 weeks. I had to buy my own food without being able to leave the hotel. So really, I had the option of fancy room service. The only thing we could get for free was cookies. For some reason, we could get free cookies. Let me ask you this, Sarah. I don't think I've ever asked my diction professor screaming at me. I don't think I've ever questioned anybody about this. In terms of your per diem, your stay, your food, were all of those details presented to you guys before you signed and came to the show?
Lord, I have been trying to remember that, because that is the biggest response that people have had. It's like, you signed a contract, you knew what you were getting into. And maybe I did. Maybe that is in the contract, but I did not know. So the hotel thing definitely was not in the contract. That was not there. We did not know that we would have to, like, that was a surprise to everybody. Okay. And also there were no days in the house where there was no shooting. So I think we got a per diem for every day that we were in the house.
And you were in the house how many days?
6 weeks, I think.
Okay.
A little less. I think a little less than 6 weeks, because it was a little bit faster, like a week. And it was like an episode every like 4 to 5 days. It was a little bit faster than a week. I still don't know why they put us in the hotel afterwards. I've always assumed, we did not pay for the hotel, but we had to pay for all of our food. And I've always assumed that they did that to like confuse the people who knew where we were back home. So like I got eliminated after like 5 or 6 weeks, and then they kept me in the hotel for 2 weeks. So that when I went home, like you wouldn't have been able to guess when I got eliminated. I think it was also because the paparazzi were so intense. They were everywhere, like trying to figure out where we were and who had gotten eliminated and who had won. So they kept us around so that I could like go. I went to a couple events after I got eliminated. Like I would walk in with the other girls so that if the paparazzi saw us, they wouldn't know who'd been eliminated. So I always assumed that was why, but I don't know that. The thing is that we didn't sign like one contract. We signed like a bunch of contracts. We signed a huge NDA, which did have a bunch of stuff. Like it had that we were not allowed to leave. Basically, we signed something saying like, I won't do what Ebony did, basically. And I won't like say anything, and I won't, it was like a lot of, it was just like saying basically, I'll do whatever you say. And if I die, my family can't sue you. Even if it is the direct fault of anyone on set. So, yeah, I know. Which that's pretty standard. And honestly, like, it was a little bit of a bullshit contract. We signed our lives away, but also like, I sort of get it, because you don't want, like, I don't know, if you have to protect your crew members, like it's that contract is complicated, but, so the thing is because we didn't get paid, they just never took our tax information. We didn't sign anything at all that said anything about payment because we weren't paid. We didn't sign something that said, I won't get paid. You know what I mean? And it was all so intense that like, when they're like, you're going to be on TV, it's not like you thought like, oh, cool, where's my W-9? Do I need it? Should I fill that out? Do you need my LLC info? Because I'm just an individual. I haven't I was also like an idiot at 19. I'd only ever worked on a blueberry farm, like I was not a savvy like businesswoman, So no, like, yes, we did sign a bunch of contracts, but we never signed anything about payment because we didn't get paid. And also the stipend was cash, but it was taxable, which Ambrielle reminded me. She was like, remember when we had to pay taxes on our, on the money that they gave us? And I was like, oh fuck, I did forget that. We did have to, it was like $38 a day. So, it was, yeah, we had to pay taxes on it like later. Luckily I had made no money that year, so I actually didn't have to pay anything. But so the thing that I want people to think about is like, I saved a bunch of that money. Yeah, it was like tips, I think. So I did save a bunch of that money. So that's what I used to buy food for 2 weeks afterwards. But like, I needed to work. Like I didn't get to work that summer because I was doing the show, and like some of the girls had rent, they had to give up their apartments, or just like pay the rent for the time that they were gone. Like, it's not like, it's not like, yes, we got housing, but Janet was 26. She had a life. Like she had to just, like, you know, figure it out. And yeah, so I think a lot of the girls really struggled because that's 2 weeks not working.
Not
That's,
working.
or I'm sorry, 2 months not working, and not having income coming in. And so like that year at school, I was so stone cold broke because I had no savings because I had spent it all living in LA, and then you know, having to stay there for so long, and then come home. And like I worked at the blueberry farm for a little while after I had shot the show, and they all were like, where have you been and why is your hair short and blonde? And I was like, no reason. Normal stuff, you know. And then they found out and they were like, what the fuck? And I was like, you don't understand the NDA that I signed. I was terrified.
In having spoken to over 100 of you guys,
Have you really?
Say, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, over 100
wow.
contestants and judges, including Tyra herself. Well, they're like 15 minutes, but
yeah.
I can concretely say this. There are some things that Top Model needs to answer for, right? Because people do have questions.
Yeah.
And when I say they need to answer for it, I'm not saying it in the spirit of what they did was done with the intent to hurt, to malign, to deprive, to depreciate, to do all those things. No, I cannot speak to their intentions because I'm not in their head, nor was I around in those discussions. However, we can recognize and identify that actions were made that made some of you girls feel a way. It affected your life, and you guys have the right to ask questions or be like, this made me feel away. And I do think with the entity that it is Top Model being this big, you know, this big universal iconic thing, there are some things that they probably do have to explain because the perception is fucked up. Everybody thinks different things.
Well, and they also just made millions of dollars off of that, right? It's not right. Like, yes,
still making millions of dollars.
They made millions of dollars off of our labor and off of our work. And so, especially for like people who were traumatized by it, like that must be very hard. Like it would be very hard for me, you know. And it's not that I never know. I'm honestly, so I'm actually working on a bunch of written stuff about the show right now, and I have just like pages and pages that I'm working on, because it's like, what do you call something that is hugely impactful and still affects your emotional health to this day? But like, I struggle with to say the word traumatic, and I don't, you know, but impactful for sure. Like it's fucking impactful,
right?
And then to see people make a bunch of money off of it is frustrating, especially when it is so important in the culture. And I think that's fucking beautiful. And I think the fact that it stirs up so many emotions in people still to this day, like, that's amazing. That is an impactful piece of pop culture, you know, iconography. Like it is beautiful. But it's frustrating. And there's a big disconnect between people making billions of dollars and people going into debt and being traumatized, you know, like that's too big a difference. I will say also, I believe that there were reasons for it. I believe that he was going through his own thing. I saw Ken Mock be a thoughtless piece of shit. I never saw him be nice. I believe that he can be. I believe he's a beautiful man. I saw him be a dick every time I saw him. I've never said that out loud, but he was a fucking dick a lot.
I don't know how it's going to happen, but I feel like what will finally put all of this to rest is somebody will come with a check and a production company and will do a deeper expose than I've done, because I've only really spoken to you girls. You know, I haven't really spoken to like the Michelle Mocks of it all, the Ken Mocks of it all, the execs, you know, who those people who are really making those decisions of it all. Yeah. But I do believe there are some questions that do need to be answered. Until those answers are given from those people, me personally, this is me, I'm not asking nobody to agree with me. Remember, people can have different ideas, guys, and they can all exist in the same universe, and we could be okay with it. I do slightly extend them grace one, because Top Model was a new, that type of show was very new.
Yeah.
That type of show was very new. I'm pretty sure the moving parts of it all was very confusing. And I do believe a lot of the things that happened on Top Model, the production of it all, the orchestration of it all, was a big learning lesson for the entire industry. Like, y'all, we can't do this. We can't. Yeah. You know, it was not giving them excuses, because, again, I don't know what their intention was behind anything. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah. No, and so a bunch of people were like, nobody gets paid to be on reality shows, like, stop complaining. And then someone was like, hey, I was on American Idol. We got paid $1,000 a day, and they also gave us a fashion budget, and everything was catered. And I was like, oh, noted. That's different. That would have been great. Also, Michelle was pregnant my cycle, like very pregnant. And even at the time, I was like, how are you doing this? Like, how are you such a, like, she was working so hard and she was so pregnant. And also somehow, so she's like a big deal in the, like, you know, on the show, she's like a big upper mucky muck. And she was the one who like took us out to smoke cigarettes. And we were like, please get away from us. Like, you are pregnant. Like, I felt so bad. I just remember being like, oh my God, like, I feel so bad, because like, we were on the cruise ship and she would take us out to smoke a cigarette, and I was not a big smoker at the time, but that was the only way to like get out of the windowless room that we were in, that was like filled, like, you know what I mean? They'd be like, okay, do you want to sit in this windowless room, or the girls who want a cigarette can go outside and stand on the deck? And it was like, yeah, I'm gonna go smoke a damn cigarette. Like, I want to be outside. And so I just remember being like, oh, I can either like stay in a windowless room on a ship, like, just like where it was like, oh, rocking, no windows. Or
Baby Sarah, is it, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, because I keep seeing people say this, that they said the fact that they didn't get any residuals or paid at the time is ridiculous. Well, guys, I'm gonna tell you this: in reality TV, no one gets residuals. No one.
Yeah.
No one.
I do think. I mean, I assume the judges did. Even when it's like aired on new networks?
I can't speak for them because I don't know their contracts.
Because I did get residuals from being on the Tyra show, which I thought was hilarious. I was on it like one time and I would get it like residuals, and I was like, huh.
Well, I think that's because it's a talk show, which falls underneath a different like legal structure, which reality TV is like unscripted, ain't no union for it. Yeah. But like, for example, I've spoken to a producer. I ain't gonna say their name because I don't want to put their business out there. But I've spoken to and it's not David St. John. I was talking to a producer at Top Model who worked there for years, and he said he doesn't get paid from that show now as an executive producer. I did the TF Madison experience this year. All of us got paid one time when the episode aired, and that shit got its license on Amazon, it's licensed on Watch All Black. It got licensed to a whole bunch of other streaming services. Yeah. None of us get any residual money from that. Man, the Housewives on Bravo, the Married to Medicine girls. I know this for a fact. The Married to Medicine girls get paid one time when that episode airs. NeNe Leakes gets paid one time when that episode airs. Yeah. So residual, guys, isn't a thing that's common in reality TV. Yeah. Yeah. Also, someone who's like, you cried a lot when you got eliminated, for someone who has those feelings at the show. You know what? That's rude, because yes, I did cry a lot and it was very embarrassing. And I'm not a crier. And the fact that like, I'm not embarrassed. I said some weird shit. I ran around naked, like but the fact that I cried, I'm still like, bitch, you cried when you got eliminated. Like a lot. Like, why? I didn't even want to win. And yet for some damn reason, I think it was just weird. I don't know. Oh my God, wait, is Marvita is the hottest person in the world. Is she? Oh, that's hot. Marvita's hot. I want her to take me on a date. Then put me on a plate. I still remember this. When we did our very first photo shoot, the very first episode, when it was like all those girls, we were on the beach, and like Marvita just was like, we were all so stir crazy because we'd been cooped up, like not allowed to leave, you know, just like one room, then the next room, then the next room, bathroom break, one room, like for days, like a week, I think, of just like not being able to do anything. And so then they were like, here, go on this beach for a photo shoot, but mostly just like run. So we were just like, wow, we were like puppies, like she was literally just running up and down the beach. And I was like, yeah, but I also was like, she should be on Baywatch. Like, I just was like, that's the hot. I was like, oh, I think I'm gay. What's going on, y'all? y'all. Hope y'all are enjoying. But we gotta interrupt this right fast for a word from our sponsors. I'm gonna ask you one more question, Sarah, because I know you got to go, but someone just did something that that sparked something. As a person who's filmed reality TV, participated in reality TV, I'm so excited for some of the things that's coming up, guys. I can't wait. I'm sitting on a secret. And then talk to people that have been reality TV, that have been on reality TV, work for people who have been on reality TV, friends with people who've done. There does need to be some sort of reform, some sort of union, some sort of entity put in place that makes reality TV programs responsible. Like, there needs to be some standards set in place. Like, you have to pay your people at least this amount of money a day to participate. You have to provide this type of psychological care after they're on your show. You have to do certain things. I heard Funky Dineva today. One of my mentors, friends, y'all know Funky Dineva. He was talking about Real World Homecoming, and he said he feels like it needs to be some type of ethical mandate where reality TV shows cannot edit things outside of context and present it like the way it should.
But a producer made a video about the way they edited it, and I was horrified. Like, oh my God. Also, like SAG has rules where it's like they have to break for a meal after like 8 hours or something. They did not have that on Top Model. That would be great. Like, we should not be able, like, they should have to feed you, like, I don't know, every 8 hours or whatever SAG has at least. Because we would be going like 12, 14 hours, and they'd be like, here, have a granola bar. And I was like, no, I don't want it. I want a damn meal. I'm a plus size contestant, you bitches.
Moving forward, Sarah, what are the final thoughts you want to leave with everybody regarding this matter?
Gosh, that is a good question. I think my final thought is, let things exist in your mind at the same time, even if they feel very disconnected. If somebody's experience is different than yours, that does not take away from your experience.
Oh, Sarah, say that again.
If somebody's experience is different from yours, that doesn't have to change yours. And if it does, that's on you. That's what's
your responsibility
within you. That's not their fault. Their experience is their experience. And that's not your fault. And that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh my God, thank
you. And I'm pretty sure this has been a hectic week for you.
It's been a hectic for other reasons too. It's been it's a whole thing. It's been a week, but I'm so glad I got to see you.
Yes, no.
I'm gonna be watching this space for your secret.
Yeah, you know what? I can't say anything. No, I can't say anything.
No,
but I can't wait until the secret is out.
But I'm excited.
I can't wait until the secret is out, because I will then be able to use my experience to say that the reality TV world is getting a whole lot better, guys. They're getting a whole lot better. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and there still are a lot of answers that need to be answered. Like Tyra, like, girl, okay, give me 1 second. Sarah, give me 1 second. Tyra, I'm talking to you because I know you still watch me. I know, hey girl, what's the tea? Tyra, we gotta put this shit to rest, girl. I am now, while I do enjoy the influx on my channel and my pages when the people are dragging you because they're coming to come watch my content of the girls talk about you, I'm tired of you still being in this mess, girl. Now, Tyra, I need you to put on your big woman heels. I need you to,
because you know she has them.
I know you got plenty rich woman, big girl, pussy stumping heels, Tyra. Get $1 million or how much this is gonna cost. Get a budget together. I know your production company is out there working, girl. I know. And let's just go ahead and do this documentary, this conversation, this homecoming where we rectify all these issues. You answer all questions. Kim Mock, y'all answer all questions. Everybody ask all questions. I'm tired of seeing Top Model and all this shit get dragged in the media every 2 weeks. I'm honestly sick of it.
Honestly, then we can be done.
Answer the fucking questions.
Then we can be done. Yeah.
Tyra, after I get off this phone, I'm gonna send a text. Tyra, let's do it, girl. I don't even got to be a part of it. Just do it. Just do it. And as I exit outside of my comedic field, because the show, as great as it was, as huge as it was and still is, and it changed a lot of people's lives, it also did a lot of damage to a lot of people. You know, I've spoken to you girls. People have come on here and cried. Like, it has done a lot of damage, and I do feel like they should do it. They honestly don't have to, but they should. They should.
Yeah.
I want them to.
Yeah.
I want them to.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, if Oliver doesn't host rioting in the streets, 100%. Absolutely.
Oh no, don't ride on my behalf. But you know. Yeah. Tear down, no, yo, burn it down. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Fucking burn it down.
Pitchforks.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Oh my God, thank you. It's so good to see you. We both have exciting things coming up. It's gonna be good.
Yes.
Exciting good things.
I'm coming to New York City soon. Next year. No time soon. It's too goddamn cold right now, Sarah.
Yay! Oh my gosh.
Y'all probably won't see me until March in New York City.
That's fair.
Honestly.
No,
March,
that's fair.
April, really April.
Oh, my birthday's in April.
Oh, lit.
I'm gonna have I'm having a disco. No, wait. What did I just say? A disco balloon party.
Oh, I gotta come.
Yeah. Come to that.
Me.
Okay.
Everybody, send Sarah love. Send Sarah kisses. Send everybody. Send everybody
lots of love. Send them all love. Yeah.
And,
oh my God, I want to see you too, Marvita. It's gonna be great.
Oh, listen, when I come to New York City, excuse my French, but all y'all hoes better come out and wherever I'm at, because we're doing it big. I want to see Marvita, Bianca, Shandy, Sarah, Corey, Nina. Come home.